Hello and welcome to another video on the Feeder channel. Today I will be discussing Angela's skill 3. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and leave a comment. If you are new to the channel and are interested in seeing more content, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Angela's skill 3, Transfigure, is an active skill. Use the skill on a hero and the hero will be transformed into a random hero of the same rarity or quality or gold cost. For example, using the skill on Ling transforms him into another 5 gold hero, and the transformation retains the star level. When there is a hero of the same gold cost which also shares a synergy with the selected hero, the transformation will prioritize that hero. For example, Cho and Yin are 2 gold wrestler heroes. Using the skill on Cho will transform him into a Yin. When there are multiple heroes who have the same gold cost and synergy as the selected hero, the transformation will pick one of them at random. For example, Yin and Cho are 2 gold wrestler heroes. Yin and Melissa are 2 gold Forsaken Light heroes. Using the skill on Yin would randomly transform him into a Cho or a Melissa. This question mark indicates that the transformation has multiple possible outcomes. As a result of this, the heroes can be divided into 2. Fixed transfigures, which are heroes that will always be transformed into a specific hero, and multiple transfigures, which are heroes that have more than one option for transfiguration. There is a subgroup of multiple transfigures I like to call random transfigures. These are heroes that do not share any synergy with any other heroes of their gold cost, and as such, the outcome of their transfiguration cannot be determined. All 5 gold heroes are random transfigures. I should mention that the skill has a cooldown of 1 round. That means you can use it every round. I will now show all the fixed transfigures in the game. You can check the community tab where I listed them all out. I will not go into multiple transfigures because they are not guaranteed transformations and as such are not reliable. Remember that all 5 gold heroes are random transfigures. Now let's check the 4 gold heroes. The 4 gold fixed transfigures are Estes to Johnson, Kadita to Julian, Zilong to Julian, and Johnson to Estes. Now to the 3 gold heroes. The 3 gold fixed transfigures are Freya to Atlas, Wanwan to Luoyi, Belleric to Atlas, Xavier to Luoyi, and Karina to Lancelot. Now to the 2 gold heroes. The 2 gold fixed transfigures are Cho to Yin, Kimi to Roger, Irithel to Melissa, Franco to Benedetta, Faramis to Cyclops, and Benedetta to Franco. And finally, the 1 gold heroes. The 1 gold fixed transfigures are Zask to Martis and Martis to Zask. There are 14 heroes that can be obtained as results of fixed transfigurations. When you place all the heroes on the board, these are the synergies obtained. 5 out of 6 Weapon Master, 3 out of 4 Forsaken Light, 2 out of 4 Mage, and 2 out of 3 Guardian. If you look closely, you will notice that 4 of these heroes do not contribute anything to the final lineup. These heroes are Zask, Luoyi, Lancelot, and Roger. If we remove these 4 heroes, we are left with 10 heroes and the same synergies. Picking the Weapon Master Star Core will complete the 6 Weapon Master. Picking the Forsaken Light Star Core would complete the Forsaken Light. And if we have a Science Crystal, we can deploy all 10 heroes. And by using the skill to obtain these heroes, we can almost guarantee that we can upgrade every single one of them to 3 stars. So now I'm just going to talk about the skill. I'm not going to use a script or anything, just going to try to remember everything that I experienced while playing the skill and try to give some advice on how you should actually use the skill in reality, because the theory For this skill, the theory and the practical are very different. In theory, you are supposed to use 10 heroes. But in reality, you can't use those 10 heroes because we're trying to get all these heroes to 3 stars. And even with this, even though the skill has just a 1 round cooldown, you can use it on a 2-star hero. You can even use it on a 3-star hero. You still can't do it because to get a 2-star hero, it's not going to be in one single round. You can get a 2-star hero in a round sometimes, but a lot of times you will not get any hero at all. So you can't rely on that. Okay, fine, I'll just use it on 2-star heroes every time. So 10 heroes is a lot. To get 10 heroes to 3-star with this skill is very difficult. Because if you want to get if you want to upgrade a hero star level, it means that you're not going to spend much, if anything, on upgrading your commander level. You have to sacrifice one for the other. Usually when I play with the mind of okay, my heroes can be 2-star. If you're playing with a meta lineup, right, all the lineups have been posting about Nature Spirit Mage, Nature Spirit Guardian. I can't remember any of the other ones, but all the other ones I've played, you don't need 3 stars. You just need 2 stars, a strong synergy, and even maybe a very good star core. But for this one, you need the heroes 3-star to get anything. So you cannot say that, okay, fine, I'm going to leave it and go for commander level, try to get commander level 9. No, you have to actually sacrifice that. So that means that you can't use all 10 heroes. You have to use just a smaller, and the amount I use that I had the best performance with was 5 heroes. That's Atlas, Benedetta, Martis, Julian, Yin, and Melissa. Okay, that's 6 heroes. So just these 6 heroes. And I had a lot of this was the lineup that I had the most success with. But the problems is that in the early game, you're supposed to start with Atlas and then add Benedetta, Martis, Yin, and Melissa. Those 5 heroes are the base heroes. The theory says we can add Franco and Bennett. Since you can transform Franco to Bennett, you can transform Bennett to Franco. So you can have 2 of them. But in reality, you actually need to pick one of them, because if you have a 2-star Franco and a 2-star Bennett, and you have another 2-star Franco on the board, that's a 3-star Bennett already once you convert the 2 Francos to Bennett. And then you'd have to then start getting Franco again from the beginning. But remember now, you don't have a Bennett to convert to Franco. You've already converted all your Francos to Bennett. So if you want to start building Franco again, you don't have Bennett to convert. You have to get all the Francos naturally. That means that in one game, you want to get like 15 Francos, which is impossible. Let me just put it like that. It is impossible. So for Franco and Bennett, the theory says, okay, fine, you can have both Franco and Bennett on the board. But in reality, you can only have one. You either pick Franco or you pick Bennett. And of course, you're going to pick Bennett because Bennett is much stronger than Franco. Bennett is one of the hyper carries. I won't say hyper carry per se, but Bennett can do very well, for carrying. Once you get her to 3 stars, she does a lot of damage. She's tanky. She's very good. The reliance on star power, though, is one thing that, like I said, is one thing that can really get people again. That can really turn people off with this synergy. Then there is no backline damage dealer. We have Melissa, but Melissa is not a damage dealer. If you've played with Melissa, if you played Archer or Forsaken, you know that Melissa is not a damage dealer. She's a support. Her skill gives a shield that increases the attack speed of heroes. So it increases her own attack speed too, but she does not do that much damage. So we can't use Melissa as a damage. So there is no carry. We just pick tanks. The only carry hero in this team actually is Martis, which is weird because Martis is a 1 gold hero that is very laughed at. That is very, very laughed at. Nobody really takes Martis seriously. But for this lineup, you actually want to rely on Martis early because you're going to get into 3-star very easily. You just need to get Zask, get Martis, and then you use the transfigure. And a lot of times you'll get the 3-star Martis before placement creep defense round. That is the time I usually get the 3-star Martis at that time. And so once you put some items on him, if you can get Inspire, that's very good. If you can get something like a Blade of Despair or a Seahole, but just get a physical item. And then you have your Martis carry. And if Martis is not enough for you, you can get Bennett later on. But like I was saying, because there's no backline damage dealers, the team is just 5 tanks, 5 frontline tanks, to be precise. If the enemy has just one Akai, one 3-star Akai that has maybe Guardian Dominance Ice and Guardian Helmet, you are going to lose badly. Because these guys are not going to kill Akai. Not with this, not without anything else. They're not going to kill Akai. That is one thing I struggled against so badly. The fact that these guys cannot kill tanks. Just an Akai or even another Bene or another Atlas, they cannot do anything against it. And we can't use Freya. If you want to say you want to use Freya, Freya is something that you are going to convert to Atlas eventually. Now, a lot of people would want to ask that why am I converting Freya to Atlas? Freya is like the main weapon master. Why don't I just convert Atlas to Freya? Now, if you want to convert Atlas to Freya, there's a chance he will turn to Belleric because he also shares the same synergy with Belleric and the same star level. So you can the Atlas may be converted to Belleric. So personally, that's why I don't use it like that. A lot of people, I believe that's the first thing that came to the mind of everybody. I think I mentioned it on stream. Anything that would make Freya broken in this game, everybody will rush towards it. So the developers are very, very, very cautious about making skills that can make Freya broken. You see, Angela skill 1 gives that mana regen that gives this thing. So a lot of people can actually use it on Freya because they want Freya to use her ult very quickly. But then after that, then what? Nothing. So it's just waste. So it's discouraging people from using that Angela skill 1 for Freya. But that Angela skill 1 is not the purpose. It's not the purpose of this video. Going to the skill 3. So like I said, you can't use it on Atlas to turn him to Freya because he will turn to Belleric, and that would be bad. So instead of that, I just focus on let's just use Atlas because the 3-star Atlas is actually very good. He's very tanky. He has about 20k HP. His skills freezes enemies for 3.5 seconds. That's a lot of CC. And his mana is also very small, like just 75. That means that if you freeze, a lot of times Atlas can actually perma freeze enemies. Like if he has the Weapon Master Thunder Core, he has tank items like Dominance Ice and Guardian Helmet. He will perma freeze at least all the enemies around him. If you can get into where the enemies' damage dealers are, you can perma freeze them. So that is very good. But until that is late game. So if you don't actually get these heroes to 3 stars, you're going to be like shortchanging yourself. You're not going to see the maximum power of the skill. So until you really get Julian is really the only damage dealer in this lineup because I mean Julian does not focus on the people around him. He focuses on where there are most enemies, and he does a lot of damage. Even when you get the other heroes to 3 star, if you have a 2-star Julian, very, very easily. And Julian is also the easiest. I would say he's the easiest to actually upgrade to 3-star because Julian, you can convert Zilong to Julian, you can convert Kadita to Julian. You have 2 possible options of converting to Julian. So once you don't even have to get Julian per se, you can get Zilong, you can get Kadita, and then just transfigure them to Julian. And then once you get the Weapon Master Core, you get the Forsaken Light Star Core, you get that 6-4 combo. You will see Julian is already doing a lot of things. That's why Julian is the main hero in this lineup. And because of that, because Julian is the main hero, if you actually don't want to use this skill, you can just build it as mage. Since Julian is also a mage, you can just build it as mage. You can use the meta, just use mage, Ablaze bounties, and get Julian to 3-star. I know a lot of people who play mage prefer using Kadita over Julian. I understand, but if you want to use this, it is much easier because you can get Julian to 3-star much more reliably. So Julian to 3-star, if you are using mage and Ablaze bounties or whatever else you meta people like doing, you can use Elementalist as well. Elementalist Forsaken Light. Julian is also Forsaken Light. You can just do that. Elementalist Forsaken Light, and it's there. So if you want to use the meta, you can use the meta as long as it has Julian in it. Personally, I feel Julian is the main hero for this commander skill. So anything with Julian, and you should actually be able to win. I don't know how far the gameplay has gone, and I don't know if I actually explained how to build the lineup during the run. So let me just try to summarize everything now before I close the video. You want to start with Atlas. Then after you get Atlas, you add Mattis, Benedetta, Yin, and Melissa. Those 5 heroes. Now you are going to stay at commander level 5 until you get Mattis to 3-star. You try to maintain your gold during that time. Essentially, you're going to be trying to find Zask and Mattis. Then you transfigure the Zasks to Mattis. When you get Mattis to 3-star, you then go to commander level 6. Because commander level 6 is where you need to be. That's where you can get Franco, you can get Yin, you can get Benedetta, you can get Melissa. Essentially, all the 2 gold heroes. So you will buy Cho. You buy Cho to transfigure him to Yin. You buy Irito to transfigure her to Melissa. and then you buy Franco to transfigure him to Benedetta. So with that, you can get Bene, Yin, and Melissa to, you can get them up. You do that at commander level 6. Now you're going to stay at commander level 6 for pretty much the whole game. This is where the problem comes in. You don't care about the star core, you just pick the weapon master star core, but you're not trying to activate it immediately. What you want is the power. So you will stay at commander level 6 until you actually get all these heroes to 3 stars, or until you get Julian. If you can get Julian, Zilong, or Karita, that is. If you can get one of those, then you can go to commander level 7. So when you do that, you would now be able to trigger the 6 weapon masters and even the 4 Forsaken Light, because Julian is what you need to actually trigger both. So once you get Julian, you can trigger both at commander level 7. Now the thing is that you're not going to leave commander level 7. You're going to stay at commander level 7 until the end of the game. At commander level 7, you can still get the 2 gold heroes. You can get 3 gold. You can get Atlas, Freya, Beleric, so that you can get your Atlas to 3 stars. And then you can also still decently get Julian, Zilong, and Kadita at that commander level 7. So when you pick the Forsaken Light star core, you have everything complete. You can get everybody to 3 stars. The biggest problem I would say is surviving that early game. Surviving between when you pick the first star core and when you pick the second star core. Surviving those 6 rounds in between, that's the most difficult part, because a lot of people, if they are playing with elementalists, they're going to have 6 elementalists at this time. If they're playing with mage, they may have 6 mage at this time. And just know that you're not going to be able to beat all those meta lineups using this star coreless lineup. So you're going to have to pray that you're lucky enough to get those heroes to 3 stars early. At least if you can get Yin to 3 stars, if you can get Bennett to 3 stars, at least those ones will be able to control the damage. But then once you now get Yin, you can then actually do everything. So yeah, that is just the lineup. Personally, I would not recommend using this skill at all, because I don't really like it. Like I said, if you are using this fixed transfigure lineups, you have a lineup that you can get all the heroes to 3 stars, but that is just, you can get them. There's nothing saying you will get them. Okay, you can use some multiple transfigures. Like I said, there's a chance for Atlas to turn to Beleric, but he can still turn to Freya. It's 50-50. If you want, you can just use the skill on Atlas and get him to Freya. Try to get him to Freya. You can use it to play on meta things. You can use it on who's that? On Luoyi. Luoyi can turn to Xavier. You can use it on him to get on her to get Xavier to 3 stars, or your elementalist people. And for mage people, you can use it on Esmeralda. She can turn to Aldous or Kagura, but you can always do that. So you can use it to get any hero you want to 3 star actually, but when it's not a fixed transfigure, there's a chance that it will go wrong. So if you want to try this strategy, then feel free. You can just remember that you're going to focus on getting star level and not just synergies. And if you want to use it on your normal lineup, I would not recommend doing that, but you can also do that. So yeah, that's it. I hope I will rate this skill 4 out of 10. Personally, I'm rating this skill 4 out of 10. After this video, I'm not going to play it again. I'm going to until the next season. In the next season, they will change the rarity of some heroes. They will add new heroes. In the next season, then I will ask you, okay, what lineup can I use this skill with? If that lineup is strong, then we move. But for right now, the lineup available is this: 6 weapon master, 4 Forsaken Light, and right now it's not looking very hot. So I'm going to wait till next season. But yeah, that's just the skill. If you like the skill, if you have a contrary opinion, let me hear your experiences in the comments. Okay? So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.